Hi book friends, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen's Reading Room, and today I'm going to be doing a bookshelf tag. Okay, so I'm back on my channel and I'm doing a series of videos to celebrate my birthday, which is today, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. And so this will be the last video of my series of videos I did from May 1st to the 5th to celebrate that. Today we're going to do the Book Time Castle book tag. This tag was created by Jessie the Reader, and I saw it recently on Peruse Projects channel. I love her stuff. So I'll link both their videos below. Basically, we're going to be talking a little bit about my bookshelves, which are behind me, which is always fun to talk about. So, question number 1 is give an overview of your shelves. Where are they from? These shelves I happened to find at a used furniture store in my area. It's a local little used furniture store. My husband and I have gone in there over the years. We know the guy who runs it. And we picked up a lot of furniture, inexpensive furniture when we needed stuff, mostly desks and things like that. We've gotten a lot of cool stuff from them. But he does a lot of estate sales, so he gets some really cool pieces. And we were there actually to get a mattress, because he does have mattresses. And I happened to just walk around the back warehouse to see what he had, and I saw these shelves and was like, oh my goodness. And I walked up to him, and my husband said he knew that I was probably gonna leave buying them. But they were priced at $200 a piece. They're actually like a 2-in-1 shelf. So these are actually 2 shelves, 2 big shelves, but they're 4 shelves basically. So each one of these two pieces here was $200, which is really, really good. These are solid oak. It's not a mass distribution type of bookshelf. It's a one-of-a-kind bookshelf that someone had made. And they're beautiful. They have beautiful crown moldings on the top, and they are adjustable. They have pegs all the way down the side, so you can adjust the shelves, and they're solid wood. So I started looking at them, and I thought I was just gonna buy one. And then the guy we know, he came up and started talking to me. He's like, well, if you want to take both of them, I'll give them both to you for $300. I'm like, sold. So I bought new bookshelves that day, which we weren't expecting, but there are the perfect bookshelves. They fill up a wall great. I just love them that they're one of a kind and not anything anybody else will have. The one downfall is because they're solid oak. That's really good because they hold a ton of books without a problem, but they're heavy. So moving them requires like 3 or 4 guys on to move them around. So yeah, they're definitely heavy, but they are really, really, really nice bookshelves. I absolutely adore them. Question number 2 is, do you keep every book you read? No, I don't. I have, these shelves here are my main bookshelves, but I have more shelves in the corner over here. I have a bookshelf back there. I have a bookshelf in my bedroom, and then I have a ton of books in storage because we moved from a 5-bedroom house to our little apartment here, which I really like, but yeah, I couldn't move them all. So there's a ton in storage, and so yeah, I have a little bit of a book owning problem. But I mean, really, I've been collecting a lot of these books for years. Some of these books I've had since I was a kid, and yeah, I've just been collecting them for a long time. So I do though, especially if I get secondhand books or thrift store books and things like that, once I read them, I will pass them on. And then every so often I go through on a haul, usually about every month. I'll go through the books I read and oh, I don't really need to keep these, and I will pass them on. I will usually sell them on Facebook for pretty cheap prices, and if they don't sell, then I just give them to Goodwill, or I used to donate them to the library, but right now they're not taking donations. Right now it's hard to know what to do with your books because of COVID, but I have had a few places I can take them to, so I do that. Question 3 is, do you have an organization method, and is there one you'd like to try? My organization method is mostly keeping my authors together. So most of these behind me are my favorite authors, but I don't have room for all my favorite authors behind in these shelves. So, and then I have areas where there's like room for 1 or 2 books, so I'll just throw in something that'll fit. So basically, I like stacking them in the stacks and then the vertical. I like the interest it gives by doing that. So this particular configuration I did a while ago, and I actually, when I moved, I took pictures of it, and then when I packed up the boxes, I labeled each shelf and I put on the box like books for shelf A, B, C, D, and so then I knew where to put them, and then I unpacked them and looked at my picture and unpacked them as such. I've moved them around a little bit since then, but not a lot. So that's basically my organization method. I just really like how this looks. And then, was there anyone I'd like to try? Not really. I have done different organization methods in the past. I did do rainbow bookshelves when they were first started. I don't know, like 7 or 8 years ago. When those were really big, I did a whole thing of that, and I loved it. It looked so cool. But I didn't like having like the books separated out as much. Like for different series and things like that. It kind of bothered me. I like my authors together as much as possible. And then I have done, like, try to do alphabetical by the author's last name, and that is a pain. It's such a pain because I have to fit the books in where I can fit them, and I really am big on saving space because I have so many books and I don't have enough room for them all. So I can't really go like on a normal shelf that way. It would waste too much space. So I ended up with this method, and I think I'll probably just keep this method at least for these shelves. 4 is, how often do you reorganize? I usually reorganize on New Year's. It's one of my fun things to do. On New Year's Day, I take out all my books off the shelves, and they're all over the living room. I take pictures because it's hilarious. There's like books everywhere. And I spent all day rearranging them to how I want them. Part of the reason I do it on New Year's is because I get a lot of books at Christmas, and so I want to try to get them on my shelves or reorganize and things like that. So yeah, I usually do it on New Year's, and then other than that, I don't will do the entire thing, but throughout the year, like usually about once a month, I'll take my new books that I bought and try to fit them in, especially if it's authors I already have on these shelves. So then I reorganize a little bit because sometimes I run out of space, and so I have to move the whole author somewhere else, and then I end up rearranging everything again. So yeah, but mostly I just do it on New Year's, and it's a really fun time for me. It's like something I look forward to every year, and it's a fun day, and I'm so tired at the end of it. It's a lot of work, but I just love it. It's like one of those just really fun things for me to do. 5 is there a shelf you don't like? I really, on these bookshelves, I really like all of them, but my least favorite is this one down here. I don't know if you can even see it on the camera, and if not, I will show it to you here in a second. But it's just because I can't really fit in Victoria Schwab's books as well as I'd like. I don't think they really showcase her books that well, and she's one of my favorite authors. So I think I need to get just redo this entire shelf, but I just haven't messed with it because I don't know how to redo it. So it's just kind of my least favorite, but it's not bad. It's just not my favorite out of all of them. 6, is there a color that dominates your shelves? I would say black or blue. I have a lot of black or blue books looking through them. 7 is, what is the most damaged book on your shelves? And that is this book, Crossed. And it's not that bad. It's just there. So this got a damage when I moved one time, and a couple years ago. And so this is the second book in this series by Ali Kandi. I actually have not ever read the third book to this series yet, and I've had it since it came out. Oh gosh, when did this book come out? Been a long time. Should have a date here. 2011 is when this one came out, and so Reach probably came out in 2012. But I haven't actually finished it. And it's not one of my favorite series, but I kind of have nostalgia for it because it came out around at the same time as the Hunger Games, and I was really into. It's one of my first YA series I read. So, and I just love the covers to these books. So I've held on to them forever. But yeah, I got just a little damaged when we moved. Number 8 is, do you have any books with any major printing issues? I'm not aware of any off the top of my head. I know what they're talking about. Like sometimes every once in a while you'll get a book that's like printed upside down so the cover faces the wrong way. I've seen that before. A few other things too, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head where anything's been damaged that I've received as far as like the printing. I've received damaged books, but I don't keep those. I usually return them and get a new one. 9 is, what is the ugliest spine on your bookshelves? And this is hilarious to me because it's actually from the Uglies series. This is Pretties by Scott Westerfeld. I don't have Uglies anymore, but it's not ugly per se, but of all of the book spines, probably that one's probably the least nice looking. It's like part of somebody's face, which is kind of weird. Like how it goes around like that, I guess. I don't know. I haven't ever read this one. This is the second book in this series. I loved Uglies, and I didn't keep it. I passed it on because it was a used book, but I've never read the rest of the series. It's just sitting on my shelf. 10 is, what is the tallest book on your bookshelves? And that would be Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the illustrated edition that came out a few years ago. I actually got this, I think it was it Prime Day? They had this on sale for like $8 or something, a $40 book. So I went ahead and grabbed it, but it's the Fantastic Beasts, but like illustrated instead of the little one that came in the little textbooks. And it's really pretty. But yeah, this is the tallest one. I actually have all my Harry Potter books on the top of my shelf because of this and a few others that are really tall, the illustrated editions. So I have them all up there, which I'll show you here. But yeah, so this would be the tallest one. And then I have the illustrated Goblet of Fire would be next, I guess. And then the last question is, what is the most prized book in your possession? Well, I just went off of these shelves, and I don't have just one. I can't pick just one. But some of my favorites is these books I have from Markus Zusak. I have Bridge of Clay. My bestie Karen went and saw him at an event, and I had her purchase me a signed copy of this. This is when he was doing his book tour for Bridge of Clay. So I got the signed copy of that. And then for Christmas, she didn't tell me at the time, she sent me that, but then at Christmas she gave me these two that are signed by him as well. So we have The Book Thief in paperback, and I'm looking for the signature. That is my cat pawing her little house. So it says, Dear Jenny, heart, love and best, and then his signature. One of my favorite books too, so I was just so thrilled. And then I have I Am the Messenger, and it says, Dear Jen, thank Karen for this, and he has a little drawing of a dog and then his signature, and I was just like, oh. We actually, my bestie Karen and I, we buddy read this book together several years ago, like shortly after we read The Book Thief. And I don't ever hear anybody talking about I Am the Messenger, and if you love The Book Thief, this is a completely different book, like completely different, but it is so good, so well written. I highly, highly recommend. You know, this is very, very good book. So I have those three that Karen sent me for that, 2 for Christmas, and then one I had her pick up for me. And then last Christmas, she sent me this, Dark Dawn, signed first edition of Dark Dawn. It's not signed to me, it's just a signed edition somewhere. I know it's signed, I've seen it. Ah, there it is. So it's just a signed first edition, but I love this series so much, and I didn't have the third book, and she knew that, so she got me a signed first edition for Christmas, which was so sweet of her. And then the last one I'm going to share is also from Karen, and this was a birthday present, a huge surprise. She went and saw Laini Taylor, and this is so, so sweet. So this is when this book came out, Dreams of Gods and Monsters, the third book to this series. This is several years ago. But she had Laini sign me a book that says, "For Jenny, happy birthday," with the I, and then her signature. And then she had her little 4-year-old daughter there with her as well. And she was dressed up like a little princess, and Karen showed me all the pictures, but her little daughter did a little post-it note sign for me too. It says pie, so that's my birthday pie that her little 4-year-old daughter drew me. And it was so cute. So yeah, that book's pretty special because I have Laini Taylor's daughter's little post-it note in here too. So, and then I have several other books on these shelves that are signed. I've met some of these authors, so those are all precious to me too. But I think those are the most precious just because they were gifts from my bestie Karen. So, and they're just so thoughtful. Okay, so that is my bookshelf tag. Leave me comments below. I don't know if you want to chat about anything or want to talk about your bookshelves or some of your favorite books on your shelves or what you use for organization, all that good stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And I hope your cup is always full. I'll talk to you later. Bye.